A warm welcome to all of you. Today, we are starting the second semester portion. We will start with a poem. The name of the poem is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, and the author is William Wordsworth. I'll give a brief detail of the poet first. The poem I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud is written by William Wordsworth, one of the most eminent English poets and the leader of a new era in English poetry. He was born in 1770 in Cockmore in the Lake District, England. The majestic beauty of the district gave rise to his deep love of nature. He found invisible bonding between man, nature, and God. In 1843, he became England's poet laureate. His other well-known poems are The Solitary Reaper, Tintern Abbey, Lucy Poems, and The Prelude. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, or Daffodils, is Wordsworth's most famous work and shows vividly his love of nature. It underlines the idea that beautiful objects of nature, like daffodil flowers that bloom earliest in spring in England, fill our minds with pleasure. This poem is the outcome of actual visualization rather than imagery. It depicts the sight of the golden-colored daffodils the poet actually enjoyed in the company of his sister Dorothy while they were in the woods beyond Gobaro Park. While he was in the company of the daffodils, he felt happy and was lost in their beauty. The memory of the beautiful daffodils gave delight and comfort to him whenever he was lonely or sad. I will discuss the poem in detail now. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The poet recalls how once he wandered as freely as a cloud. Lonely as a cloud. He is comparing himself to a cloud. That means simile is used. As a cloud. Over valleys and hills. So once again I am telling, the poet recalls how once he wandered as freely as a cloud over valleys and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, that means suddenly he saw a large number of golden daffodils. The daffodils had grown under the trees near the lake. Where were they? Beside the lake, beneath the trees, under the trees, near the lake they were. And what were they doing? Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. A cool breeze was blowing, so the beautiful flowers tossed their heads in the breeze as if in a dance. And this beautiful scene captivated or attracted the mind of the poet. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Continuous as the stars that shine, the poet recalls that the daffodils he saw were as numerous as shining stars in the Milky Way, in the sky. And the daffodils grown beside the lake seemed to form an endless line. That means there seemed to be so many daffodils that the speaker says he saw 10,000 of them dancing energetically in the breeze. And they tossed their heads to and fro in the breeze as if they were engaged in a lively dance. The daffodils are personified as human beings dancing and tossing their heads. So, the daffodils are compared to human beings. That means personification is used there. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. The poet says that the waves also seemed to dance as the breeze blew over the lake. But their dance was surpassed by the dance of the daffodils. As if they were dancing, but their dance was the dance of the daffodils, was far, far better than that of the waves' dance. The daffodils seemed to be dancing with much more liveliness and vigor than that of the waves. The poet is of the opinion that no sensitive person can help feeling delighted in the company of such joyful companions. He recalls how he continued to gaze at the beautiful scene. He could not think what wealth of joy it had brought to him. That means he stared and stared at the line of daffodils, but did not realize how precious that scene would be to him. So it was such a precious scene for him, we can say. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. The poet says that whenever he lies on his couch means bed or cot, in a free or sad mood, the beautiful scene of daffodils seen by him flashes across his mind. They flash upon that inward eye. That means the scene of the daffodils seen by him flashes across his mind. This happens only in solitude when you are alone. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. The memory of the beautiful scene fills the poet's mind with joy. His heart begins to dance with the dancing daffodils. This is the most important part of the poem. The poet conveys the idea that nature has the power to make us come out of our sadness or depressed mood and make us happy. That is, the nature has the ability to bring back a person from his sadness and unhappy mood. The poem gives us the idea that nature is a source of eternal joy. Nature is full of beauty that captivates us all the time. The beautiful objects of nature, that is, flowers, plants, mountains, lakes, stars, the sun, the moon, and so on, fill our minds with pleasure. The poem shows how nature has the power to heal our stressed soul. If we care to turn to nature, we are amazed to find wonderful things such as the one described in the poem Daffodils, as we have seen. And the concluding stanza makes it clear that a beautiful sight in nature is capable of removing any stress and gloom from our mind. And we can see the style of the poem is, that means the poem is a lyric and it gives expression to a single emotion or feeling of joy in nature. And the poet has used personification in order to convey an inherent unity between man and nature. Wordsworth compares himself to a cloud, an object of nature, while he humanizes the daffodils by using the words a crowd and a host for them. And he used similes also. Example, the poet compares his idle wandering to that of a cloud over hills and valleys. And then he compares the beauty of the daffodils with that of the twinkling stars in the sky. And again, he compares the dance of the daffodils with that of the waves in the lake to pinpoint the superiority of the daffodils in their liveliness. And the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B, C, C. And one more thing, he has used alliteration also. I gazed and gazed, g sound is repeated. And the metaphor also is included. That inward eye refers metaphorically to the memory.